My beloved child, stop for a moment and feel the weight of what I am about to say. You left even me speechless. Do you know what that means, my child? I am the one who sees the beginning from the end, made the mountains and the seas, and knows every thought before it is spoken. You have no idea how moved I was when I looked at you last season. The bad guy tried to hurt you. It wasn't because you were perfect or never had problems, but because of what they learned about you. Do not scroll. Do not wait. We need to tell this truth right now. You might miss the news that heaven has planned for you. If you rush through this moment, this is not fun. There is no mistake here. This isn't just another message. Now is a wonderful break in your plans. This was supposed to be a stop. I planned to lead your steps here. I meant for your eyes to land on this moment. Your spirit self, Snorts, has learned something very interesting about you. Heaven saw your heart beating. Even though you were busy trying to stay alive and get through the day, angels kept an eye on you. The enemy watched you closely and hoped you would fail. But what they found inside you shocked everyone. Even the ones who didn't believe you. You were chosen to hear this when 99% of people won't. It's not because you did something great or are better than other people. This is because your heart has shown that it can hold revelation without fear or pride. A lot of people want to know the truth, but not many can handle it. A lot of people want to be picked. Many people want to be chosen, but not many are willing to go through the steps that are needed. You didn't stop. You're not like most people. You're not a stranger. You weren't put on this earth by accident. From the time I made you, I put something inside you that is hard to destroy. You have a depth that you might not fully understand. You are strong in ways that shocked you. You had something inside you that wouldn't break when life pushed you hard. Not giving in was not being stubborn. It was strong before you were born a long time ago. This moment was planned. I knew I would have to tell you this truth one day before you took your first breath. Made your first mistake or felt let down. I knew you would start to question your worth, your purpose, and even whether you were important at all. Also, I knew there would be a time when I would reveal what I had been hiding about you. If you don't pay attention, heaven might take longer to show you who you are. I'm not threatening you. I'd like to invite you. Please hunch over. Do not just say that this is how you feel. Don't think it's just a coincidence. You asked me to spell it out. You asked me to show you who you really are. I'm going to answer now. I am going to tell you what was learned about you and how it changes everything right now. But first, you need to quiet the voice that says this can't be about you. It's about you. Yes, you who almost gave up but didn't. You who cried alone but were nice to everyone else. That person who didn't feel seen but still chose to be honest. You who were weak but kept going. I couldn't say anything because you didn't break when everything else did. You didn't change into what hurt you. When betrayal came calling. When you had to wait too long. You didn't curse at me. You didn't give up on hopelessness. Even when loneliness told you lies. There were times when you were almost broken. Even at night when your faith seemed weak, you kept coming back to me. Even though you thought you were just about getting by, it looked like heaven knew how hard you were working. I looked closely at your heart when you didn't think anyone was there. What I found was not common. Even though it wasn't perfect, it was very rare. When things stopped being easy, I found loyalty. I found faith that changed shape and stayed strong. When I should have been proud, I learned to be humble. I saw kindness in you even after you were hurt. It's not often that those two things mix. That's why this truth will never reach most people. A lot of people give up when they're hurt. When tested, many people get angry. A lot of people leave when there is too much silence. But you didn't really leave. You didn't think the little things you did were important. You didn't think anyone could see how good you were at being quiet. You believed that staying calm when you wanted to fight back showed that you were weak, but it was hard. You felt it. It meant that something more was growing inside you. Tell them I stand strong in my faith. If you're taking him up on every promise he's made over your life, you're not like most people. There is spiritual weight on you that you haven't thought about. You can do something. The enemy knew about it before you did. Because of this, attacks felt like they were aimed at certain people. That's why the pressure was so high. That's why having no hope tried to hang over you like a thick cloud. It was his plan for you to forget who you are before you found out. But hard times can't take away what I put in you. You can't erase what I wrote in your mind by being upset. The most important thing that was learned about you this season is that you can handle more responsibility. You are humble and can handle being blessed. When you dig deep, you can find out things. You need to know who you are for the next season. So, the truth has to come out now. If you feel small, you can't move forward. You can't carry what I'm about to give you if you don't think you're important. Do not wait. Don't move your screen away from the call. Don't try to hide who you are. This truth is not meant to make you feel better about yourself. It's meant to boost your faith in me even more. When you did that, my child, I couldn't say a word. Not because of how well you did, but since you worked so hard, what was meant to shut you up worked. The thing that happened to you was meant to show how weak you are. You didn't fall apart completely. Instead, you grew stronger roots. I'm about to tell you something that will alter how you see the past, the present, and the future. The truth about you can't be hidden any longer. You'll never look at yourself again the same way once you know it. Since you have been living this season without knowing what was being looked at, I'm going to tell you what was learned about you in the realm of the unseen. Heaven kept a close eye on your heart as you went about your day and tried to stay strong. That deep part of you that you thought no one saw your heart, not your good looks, your job, or your public strength. I looked into your heart when it was quiet around you. It made me look when my prayers didn't seem to be heard. I looked at it when people you trusted let you down. I looked past how you seemed to react to see how you really felt. And what they found there shook the heavens. You thought you were almost there. You believed you were weak. You thought your tears showed how weak you were. When heaven looked closely at you, they saw something else. You were stronger than you thought. Strength that isn't loud or proud, but quiet and unbreakable. When the pressure went up, your core didn't break. It went around. It shook a little, but it didn't break all the way. Even though you weren't sure, you still whispered my name. You looked for me even when you thought I was gone. You learned something special about yourself. Because you didn't give up when the enemy was under a lot of pressure. Loyalty surprised them. He thought you were going to leave right away. He thought your sadness would turn into anger. He thought that you would rebel if you were confused. On the other hand, you held on to me while you fought your pain. That shocked him. His weak spots made him think you would fall too far to get back up. But you didn't. You have no idea how closely someone was watching what you did. Every time you chose to be calm instead of mad, it made a difference. Every time you picked patience over anger, it made a difference. It made a difference. Every time you were honest, instead of giving in, even when it would have been easier to do so. These were not small events during hard times. They showed how spiritually strong you were. It showed that you had faith. You thought your faith wasn't very strong before this season because it made you feel things. Faith isn't about how you feel, though. How long you can hold it is how long it is. Your faith stayed strong even though it was shaking. A faith that was shaking was still faith. When happiness and comfort were taken away, it didn't matter how long it took. You kept praying. You kept trusting even when there wasn't much proof. You didn't give up hope even though it seemed risky. That showed what was going on inside you. Real faith, not religion or faith that you put on shows. You felt weak some nights when you cried. But God doesn't see weakness. Heaven saw people give up. You were sometimes worn out from working so hard. Heaven didn't see anyone fail. God saw that you kept going. You did ask me questions sometimes, but you never cursed at me. There was no break in the link. You had trouble staying, but you did. Heaven was moved by how hard you worked. That's not making things up, my beloved child. People in the unseen world noticed when you stayed true even when things were tough, when you fought the urge to give up. Your spirit was praised. People didn't cheer. You didn't feel any happiness. Having said that, there was recognition. You didn't see how much you grew spiritually. You thought about what you didn't have too much. You put yourself up against people who seemed stronger, louder, and more sure of themselves. You thought you were behind. You were weak after falling so far. You looked like you were getting bigger, but you couldn't tell on the inside. It's not always easy to see growth at first. In the light, fruit doesn't show up until the roots have grown. Your roots got stronger when things were bad for you. You learned that you could count on me instead of cheers. You learned to ask me what I think instead of asking other people to agree with you. You learned how to sit through pain without getting up right away. That's growing up spiritually. It was slowly taking shape in you. Because the pain was so bad, you thought you were weak. But being sensitive is not a sign of weakness. It goes deep because you were so sad. Your heart is still beating. You are honest about your faith because you don't ignore your doubts. You were thinking about how to change because you cried instead of acting. Heaven saw strength where you saw weakness in your heart. It found loyalty when you thought people were tired. It found humility where pride could have grown. It still cared about you after you got hurt. When it comes to spirit, you are unique. Give that truth some time to sink in. I want you to do something right now that seems simple but has spiritual weight. Type one word in the box below. It only takes one word to believe this to be true and own it. It's not just a habit. To show that you agree with this revelation, type "Amon." Picture that you agree with what heaven says about who you are as you type it. You're not hurt. We're still thinking about you. When it comes to spirit, you are unique. You should raise your iman to show that you will never see yourself the same way again. You are very unique spiritually. You believed you were weak. Rare because you didn't give up when things got tough. Rare because you were hurt without being mean. You passed the test without giving up all faith, which is very rare. A lot of people can praise me when things are going well. Many people can speak out when they see good things. But when the comfort wears off, the silence lasts a long time or the sadness cuts deep. A lot of people pull away. You didn't back off all the way. Even when you took a step back in shock, you didn't leave me. The enemy saw that you were crying and thought you had lost. But God saw your tears and knew you were strong. They thought the stress would break you for good. But it only showed them what you could do. You didn't understand how you got smarter. It became clear to you that little things you used to miss were important. You learned how to tell when something wasn't true. The soft touches I gave you made you trust me more than the loud voices around you. No one could see that growth happening. You missed how humble you became in the past. You thought you had to yell to protect yourself. This season taught you to keep quiet. You knew you could tell my name to someone else and trust me. That's what being strong means. It was impossible for you to see how your kindness grew after being hurt. You learned how to help people who are having a rough time. You stopped being mean and started being nice. That's growing up spiritually. Heaven looked into your heart and found something strange there. Don't expect perfection or faultless behavior from my beloved child. What I want is a spirit that won't disconnect all the way. A heart that kept coming back. A spirit that didn't give up. You thought you were weak. When it comes to spirit, you are unique. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. Now that you know this, everything has changed because rare things are very valuable. People take more care of things that are rare. Rare things are kept safe with great care. You might have become stronger because of what you went through. You might have shut up after what you went through. You reached out to me even though you were having doubts. That's why I say it again. You stopped me in my tracks. It's not that I didn't know what you could do. It was beautiful to watch it happen under stress. You're stronger than you think. You're smarter and more complicated than you think. You're all set now that you know the truth. You need to change how you see yourself. No longer call yourself weak. Do not say you're weak. Don't feel like you're spiritually behind. You're not like most people. You didn't stop. You stayed. Heaven saw how you changed in ways you couldn't see. My beloved child, I'm going to tell you why. This truth about you has been hidden from you until now. You were wondering why I didn't tell you sooner. Yes, I did. That's why I let you wander around uncertain. What I did to keep some secrets from you while you were looking for replies. You thought I was quiet since I wasn't close. You thought I lied to you because I didn't think you were good enough. The truth, on the other hand, is more complicated and full of care. When it comes to revelation, the time is key. There are truths that help and truths that are too much to handle. Some revelations make things bigger and some make them stronger. If I had told you this about you before the shaping, stretching, and quiet battles, it wouldn't have made you as strong as it does now. They might have been proud of it. People might have been scared. It might have made you forget about the steps you needed to take. When I told you at the beginning how special you are, how deep your spirit goes and how responsible your life is, you might not have understood. Is it possible that you tried to do something instead of giving up? You might have wanted praise more than growth. You might have started to hide a part of your identity that you weren't ready to carry yet. My child, small things show pride. It doesn't always scream. It talks sometimes. It can take a while to grow when praise comes too early. What if I told you this before you became more humble? You might have thought you were better than other people. You could have judged yourself instead of being kind, which would have been worse for your spirit than anything else. But fear can also get in the way. If I told you this truth before you got braver, you might have turned away. You might have thought that cannot be me. You might have felt guilty and pushed back into fear. You might not have been sure you could carry what I gave you. Because of this, I first got your heart ready. Always getting ready comes before revelation. I had to help you get back on your feet. It was important to me that you felt weak and on your own. Before I told you, I had to make you feel weak so you could see that my strength comes from me and not from you. The test had to be done. Exposure can be bad if you don't have a base. When you put stress on a structure that hasn't been fully shown yet, it breaks. You didn't notice, but I was quietly making you stronger inside. I was trying to humble you, test your patience, and make you smarter. A lot of building was going on. The test was about more than just how long you could last. It also checked how ready you were. Willing to tell the truth without changing it. Willingness to take praise without being proud. Ready to talk on the phone without stress. I felt safe when I was quiet. That's what I want you to understand. I felt safe when I was quiet. Why I didn't publicly confirm your relationship right away? Because I didn't want you to have to deal with pressure from other people until you were ready when I didn't tell you everything at once. I kept you from getting attention that could have taken it away. I may have kept some things from you to help you grow. You sometimes felt like no one remembered you, but you were growing. Sometimes you felt like no one was paying attention to you, clear's throat, but you were growing behind their backs. There is more growth when no one is around than when everyone is cheering. When I told you the truth before, you weren't ready. It wasn't because you weren't valuable, but because you weren't ready to carry revelation. You need to be mature. To keep your identity, you need to be stable. Being humble is part of having a calling. It changes the way you walk. You see, when you know who you are, you change what you do. Things get better for you. You find it harder and harder to give in. You find out more about being responsible. If the change came too quickly and your character wasn't ready for it, it might have been too much for you. In order to understand capacity, you had to know what it was like to be kept. You had to be late before you could understand how important timing is. You had to know what it was like to be weak. Before you could understand what it was like to be strong, that order was planned. I had to take some things away from you before I told you who you really are. Validation was no longer enough for me. It became a bad habit for me to wait for approval before doing what I was told. I had to take away some attachments that would have made you go backwards after you moved forward. You might have tried to prove this truth instead of living it. Now that I've told it to you, you could have talked to people first instead of just walking in. People may have seen you as a show, which is not what I want. Being myself is not loud in me. It doesn't change. You don't have to defend it all the time. That doesn't have to be said all the time. This truth had to come to you without any changes because your heart had to be still. To handle it without being proud. You had to have a soft heart, you had to be very brave to believe it without getting scared. There I was. I didn't do anything while you cried. I waited while you were not sure. I watched as you fought. It wasn't that I didn't care. It was that I was alert. I was waiting for the time when your humility and strength would work well together. When you would want my attention less than you need me, and when your faith would be strong enough for you to take charge. It's time now. You're not the same person you were at the beginning of the season. You're feeling better. You're not as likely to act. It's clear what's different. You know you need me more now. Because of that maturity, it's safe to say this truth. You didn't get found out too soon because of the silence. You didn't reach an immature height because of the delay. Bases that weren't stable kept you safe during hidden seasons. Know this, my dear child. I'm not hiding that truth from you to hurt you. Now is the time to get stronger. The way God plans things is beautiful. It's smart to slowly show things to people. If I showed you everything at once, you wouldn't have been able to enjoy the trip. I would have had your doubts when things got tough. If I had told everyone who you were before the test. As a child, you went through a lot like wrestling. Now you can see the truth and know it to be true. I held off telling you this before because I knew you weren't ready. But now you are. Being humble now holds you back. Your strength right now helps you because you are smart. You are now safe. Now your faith keeps you steady. It won't make you feel better to know this truth. You will be held down. It won't be too much for you. It'll make you straight. Not making noise was not the same as not being there. It was getting ready. It wasn't rejection to be late. It was to keep them safe. There was no reason to wait. It had to do with placement. And finally, the veil is taken away. Letting what has been shown into your heart. This message is almost at an important point. You need to pay full attention to this. Your life is no longer quiet. There is a hidden season that is doing its job. You should also pay attention to what's going on now. In the comments, you should write, "I'm ready." Don't wait until you think you're ready. When everything is ready. No, just the way you are now. Right. I'm ready. You promise heaven that you will no longer hide who you are. Dear child, as you go through your quiet time, you need to understand something that was going on behind the scenes. The enemy tried to keep this from you. He was aware of a problem before you did. He knew how heavy what I put inside you was, and you didn't even know it. Because he couldn't get rid of what I planted, he tried to change it. He tried to trick you into thinking you were someone else because he couldn't hide who you were. Some spiritual forces were working against you in the background. It wasn't always fun. It wasn't always loud. At times it looked like a sneaky way to stop them. It sometimes came with thoughts that felt like your own. It sometimes came through what other people said. You tried to change how you see yourself during those times. The enemy knew that you would act differently if you knew I was really you. You'd say different things. It would stop making you smaller, that you wouldn't feel bad about being alive. You should stop giving me less than I want. Having that much power over your mind would be less safe. He made plans ahead of time. He worked. Then he lied about how valuable you are. Not enough. He whispered it. That mistake made you who you were until it felt like it would never go away. He told you. He played over and over again how bad you were. He slowed you down and made your flaws look worse. When you looked in the mirror, he didn't want you to see anything special, strong, or odd about yourself. There were times when you believed him. There were times I believed his lies more than mine. You thought everyone else was ahead of you. You thought other people naturally had something you were missing. You believed that your issues proved you weren't as smart, chosen, or valuable as other people. It helped him compare things very well. He put people ahead of you who looked like they were further along. It was clear that they were proud of their success and how well known they were. As time went on, comparison made you feel less sure of your own worth. That date made you start to judge yourself based on other people. You began to rate your progress by rules that were never meant to fit your life. Comparison kept you from getting better as a person. Because of it, you forgot how far you had come. You couldn't see how strong you were because of it. You felt bad about yourself because you weren't moving like other people. But no one ever asked you to be someone else. You were meant to be the person I made you. Plans were made for the attacks. They were meant to be hit. When you lost hope, you were about to make a big step forward. There was more and more doubt as you went deeper. You gave up less to resist temptation more as you did it. These patterns weren't made up on the spot. They were tries to make you doubt who you were before you were sure. It seemed like some strange but real thoughts were going through your head. You're not the only one. You'll never get through this. You're hurt too much. It's too late for you now. Those were not true. People planted those seeds with the hope that they would grow. But here's something the enemy didn't see coming. Those lies wouldn't fully sink into your spirit. You were rough with them. You could feel them. It was hard for you. You didn't want to fully agree with them, though. You were still aware of the truth when you fought back by making you feel bad. The enemy tried to hide who you were. He tried to get you to talk by hurting you. He tried to say for good what you did wrong in the past. He thought that the fact that you were having a hard time meant that he had forgotten about you. But the truth lived on. Every lie that was told hurt your spirit. Everyone who tried to make you doubt yourself failed in some way. Sometimes you may have had doubts about yourself. But you never gave up on your faith. You may have had doubts about your calling, but you didn't cut me off. You can't get back what I put in you. Pay close attention to what it says. You can't get back what I put in you. Not by failing, being turned down, being late, being compared, or the attack of the Spirit. I give people a strong sense of who they are. Events can't erase it. It hasn't changed by the enemy. It's not broken by hard times. It could be hidden for a while. It may be sad, but it is still whole. The enemy could only try to make things worse. He could never delete. People tried to hurt you so that you would doubt who you are. But doubt doesn't change the truth. The only thing you have to do is find it again. It felt like something was pulling you back to hope. Even when you were having the worst time, I was that pull. It was hard to hold on to the truth in that pull. You thought sometimes that you were just like everyone else, snorts, which was a lie, and that you didn't have anything special or important to offer. But every time that thought made you feel good, I made you feel something else. I told you quietly that you're more than what you see. The enemy aimed to make you forget how strong you were. You should have thought about how tired you were. You were told to see every delay as a reason not to compete. But design can still happen while you wait. The goal wasn't lost in the stress. He tried to hide the truth by feeling bad about it. Feel bad about the decisions you made in the past. I feel bad for messing up. You should feel bad about how weak you are. Shame tries to keep you from being who you are. Shame tries to hide you from other people. Shame tries to keep you from seeing what's really going on. But I didn't make you live in shame. I made you so that you can walk freely. Shame may have come to your door, but it didn't take over your life. The truth stood strong, no matter how hard people tried to destroy it. I can tell that someone is reading this now. You've been through a lot. You've been through things that would have killed other people, but you're still alive, still there, still believing, and still moving forward. Now, I want you to be happy that you made it. Type I lived in the comments as proof they are good, not because they are proud. It's not to show off, but to show that God has been with you. When you type those words, you're not just being rude. There was something steady about you even when you didn't know who you were. Even though you felt weak, there was something strong. Even though you didn't feel seen, something important was still going on. That thing is inside you now. The enemy can't make anything. He can only bend. What I wrote can't be changed by him. He can only try to make you forget about it. Another power is distraction, but it only works for a short time. You're not the lie that was told about you. You're not scared of how you feel. You're not the comparison that tries to make you look less important. You can't get back what I put in you. It might have been checked. It might have been called into question. It's still there. Even though someone may have asked about it, the enemy tried to keep this truth from you because he knows that when you fully accept it, you will rise with the confidence that comes from me. When you are scared, you won't be able to negotiate. You will no longer have doubts at work. You're going to stop putting yourself down. That shift changes everything. Please fully understand this. My dear child, being opposed is often a sign of worth. It was clear how important what you carry is by how strong the attack was. The stress you felt wasn't simple air. It had something to do with how much you could do. But the truth lived on. As I held it, it stayed below the water, ready to come out when the time was right. It's time that you were never taken away. You were never left out. You were never at your worst. You can't get back what I put in you. It's still there. It's still alive. There is something very important you need to know. What God is doing in your life right now has to do with hearing His voice. You might have thought that heaven was talking to you about your problems through this message. If this is true, I want you to do something prophetic. Join this channel right now, not as an afterthought, but as a statement that you are aligning yourself with what God has said in the Bible about your life. Each subscription fits with the way you're living your life. Getting alerts is like telling God, I'm ready to hear you. Do it right now. Listen to what heaven is saying. It's stronger than any lie that tried to stop it. Now, my beloved child, I need to talk to your spirit in a direct and firm way because what I'm about to say isn't funny, light, or something you can skip over. You weren't the one who picked you. There is nothing unique about you that comes from being proud or cocky. A lot of people will never have to carry that weight. You're not one of the 99% who will never hear this. Many people will walk on without ever figuring out what's going on inside them. But you were picked to know. You have to take responsibility once you know. Do not think that chosen for ease of use means it is good. This is not the same as being easy. It's not a promise of an easy path when I say that you were chosen in a different way because of a calling. You need to be an adult. That's why you were checked out. That's why you got better. That's why you felt stretched during the silence before the truth was told. A lot of people want to be picked, but not many people want to be pushed to be chosen. Many people want power, but aren't willing to be humble. Many people want power and won't give it up. Many people want revelation but don't want to be responsible for it. But you were shaped behind closed doors because the things you carry can't be given to someone who isn't stable because of the way your heart beat when you were stressed. You are not in the 99%. Some people got harder while you got softer. Some people left, but you stayed and fought. Other people chose to be angry. But you wanted to forgive even though it was hard. There is a big difference there. It's important to note that difference. You have spiritual power that you are not aware of. You don't fully understand it yet, but it's starting to take shape. Power doesn't make a sound. It's not a brag. Don't pay attention to it. A spiritual leader stays calm when things are going crazy. It makes things calm down during storms. It makes people feel better without yelling. That power grew while you were hidden. It grew though while you weren't looking at it. It got bigger while you worked hard and didn't get any credit. You could build on what I made without a platform. You didn't waste the years of peace. It's not that the seasons that were missed were empty. You were in charge because of them. You need to change the way you walk now that you know this truth. They were sure of themselves but not cocky. It wasn't very loud but it was sure. Do not compare yourself to other people. Instead, be happy with the way I made you. You weren't the one who picked you. No one else will have a path like yours. The Holy Spirit is telling someone to make a difference for someone else right now. You can think of someone who needs to hear this right now. It makes them feel like no one knows about them. They feel like no one remembers them. They don't seem to understand their path. You should reach out to them because God wants you to. Please share this video now, not later. Know now when you remember. Click the share button to send this to that person. When you share, you don't just send content. It won't be the same time for everyone. Everyone else's task will be different from yours. That's also fine. That's how it was supposed to be. The idea of comparison will try to come back. It will tell you that you missed something, are behind schedule, or are not as good as other people. You were picked in a different way. Though the measurements that work for some people don't make you who you are, I judged you based on something else. By that standard, you're not lacking. You are right where you should be right now. Don't let the enemy make you afraid again after the truth has been shown. Don't tell old lies again after heaven has spoken. When it comes to spirit, you are unique. You were chosen in a special way. And I can't take away what I put inside you. You need to act like you know this now. Not with pride, but with peace. Not with honor, but with trust. It's not important to work hard, but to rest. It's been too long since you didn't help yourself. You haven't known anything in too long. You now know. You now get it. You now know what was learned about you. I couldn't say anything because your heart secretly showed it was true. It was meant for what you went through to break you. It would have been easier for you to leave. But you chose to stay. Heaven saw you grow even though it didn't seem possible. This truth will change how you live. My beloved child, it's not okay for you to talk about yourself the way you used to. Don't say, I forgot about you because I remember you. If you've been through a lot that most people couldn't, don't call yourself weak. Don't say you're normal when God made you different. Words are strong. How you talk about yourself is important. What you say needs to match what I told you. Say this to yourself or out loud. It's spiritually rare for me. What was supposed to break me did. It was hard for me to carry faith. It was tempting for me to leave, but I stayed. Heaven knows how I feel. Do something right now that will bring God's blessings on you. Please click the like button right now. When God's love weighs heavy on your heart, this move isn't just for a video. If you see this, it means that God is letting go of something and giving it to you. Think about it this way. Every time you click like, you're making a deal with heaven and letting God's favor into your life. Your like is your yes to the good things He's about to give you. Don't just do it every time. As an act of faith, do it now. That's not like me. You haven't forgotten about me. I'm not weak. I wasn't picked the usual way. Think about those words for a while. Get rid of the old fees. They need to stop telling old lies. The enemy got it wrong about who you are. You are the person said you were. I also told you that you are unusual. I told you that you would be faithful. You are ready. I told you it's no longer quiet. The hidden season did what it was supposed to do. What was made behind closed doors will become clear in ways you don't fully understand yet. It's not that you'll get loud, cocky, or pushy. It's that what's inside you can't stay hidden forever. At the end, a hidden light will be found. A building will be able to stand on top of a base that has already been set. Deep roots will eventually lead to fruit. You are now in a time when people will see you. Not attention for your pride, but attention for my glory. Not attention to make people like you, but attention to do what I want you to do. You will stay hidden because of the same strength that helped you hide. Being humble when no one is around will help you keep your balance when people do. People will be able to see the faith flame that shone and didn't go out. You were ready for something. You didn't get better by accident. There was a reason for the process. It was meant to hurt. There was a reason to hold on. The goal is finally being shown. Do not be scared of it. Fear should not make you believe that you are the same person you were before this trip. You're not. You're not the same now. You're now bigger. It's hard to explain how you've changed, but I can measure it. I think you're ready. I think you're ready. I'm telling you the truth about yourself because you're ready to face it without shame, fear, or change. Now is your chance, my beloved child. This shift has been on your mind. Not just a change in their situation, but also a change in how they think about who they are. You now know what was learned about you. You now know why there had to be silence. You now understand that I can't take back what I did to you. You now know that someone else chose someone else. In that truth, move forward. Use it to help you choose what to do. Let it make you feel good about yourself. Let it stop the lies that try to come back. I have no words to say about how amazing you are, my child. Heaven is still happy about what it saw in you. Before you read any further, go live your life like you know who you are. To make this truth official, I want you to do one more act of faith. God's blessing is coming into your life right now. Say this. Press the like button. It's not about a button. This is where you should stand. You send a spiritual message. Every time you like something that says I am ready to receive what heaven is releasing, you should click to show that you agree. Let good luck, blessings, and progress find you. I can't wait to click it before you leave. One last time, I want you to remember this truth. They've been trying for a long time to erase your identity. But today, heaven reminded you. Today, people have seen you, known you, and called you rare. Now, I want you to add your own mark to this moment. In the comments, type Amen one more time. Not all the time. Not all the time, but like a seal as a promise that what God said over you will come true today can't be lost, stolen, or ignored. Be humble and strong as you carry this light with you. Be the person I made you. You don't have to try hard or do well. You can take comfort in the fact that you are spiritually uncommon. You didn't stop. Even though this message is over, a new journey is just beginning for you. It's now clear what kind of person you are. There was no more quiet. The hidden season did what it was supposed to do. Now, I want you to take one more step of faith. If you haven't already, please join this channel. It's not about a button. This is where you stand as a prophet. Getting a subscription is a spiritual way to stay in touch with what God is saying to people your age. When you sign up, you say, I will not miss what God is saying. I'll keep hearing His voice. I'm going to follow His holy flow. As a last sign that you agree with everything that was said today, do it now. Also know that when you subscribe, you agree to all of God's promises for your future. One more thing before you go. What you got today isn't just for you. It's for your friends, family, and spiritual family. God wants your story, your obedience, and even just telling someone about it will help them change their life in a big way. Get this message out there. Tell someone they are spiritually unique if they need to hear it. This should be given to someone who wants to give up. In the spirit world, something changes when you talk. You can feel the blessing moving through you. Giving something away makes the progress you made bigger. Do not keep this to yourself. Share it right now. Let the fact that you follow through amaze someone else. You stayed. You got bigger. I'll be with you always. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Right now, before we finish this moving story, let's think about this important truth. This message wasn't found by accident. This isn't just a lucky break. This is a message from Archangel Michael to you directly. He is reaching out and inviting you to join a safe high vibrational group where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise. This holy rule is very easy to understand, but it can make a huge difference in your life. If you follow it, you will get more than just good things. They'll come back to you in many forms and fill your whole life. You can get early access to powerful content and divine insights that aren't available to everyone right now. If you accept this invitation, you can now go into a holy place where you will get spiritual help, unwavering support, and quick progress toward your destiny. Don't miss this holy moment of your life's journey. There's a breakthrough waiting for you. Use the special link in the description to join Archangel Michael's inner circle right away. This is the only way to be sure you never miss the direct personalized messages that are meant to improve and strengthen your life. If you want to get to know each other better, the link is in both the pinned comment and the description. Everything you do, your presence and your energy mean a lot to me already. Do it. Your plenty is waiting. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel, your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says give and heaven will open over you on this platform. Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, snorts, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer war, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.